Hi, my name is Sofia Sunde, and this is my REHUGO project about the pros and cons of life on Mars for AP Lang. So, have you ever wondered if it would be possible for humans to live on Mars? So, for the past 25 years, the NASA company and other space explorations have been exploring the planet and have released rovers which have been collecting samples and are bringing them back to Earth to be able to test environments, weather conditions, water, things like that. And so, it has been able to make humans question: could we ever live there in the future if something were to happen to Earth? Would it be sustainable for human life for future generations? So this is basically something that I wanted to explore because I felt like it really interested me and I wanted to learn more about it. So, like I said, I will be talking about the pros and cons. What will be some things that would make people want to live there and maybe not want to live there. Okay, so starting with the pros. So basically, like I said, over the course of 25 years, human technology in exploring the red planet has advanced greatly. One of the main technological advancements that have been made that I learned about was called molecular pharmacology, which would allow humans to easily access pharmaceuticals, basically from specific types of plants. Meds can be made, and this would be a large advantage for humans because many of us need access to meds, and so having that on a an easy basis would make things more reliable. So, as many of you may know, like I mentioned, various missions conducted by NASA rovers have collected samples, and so basically this would help us understand like the temperature, the environments, if it were sustainable. And I also learned about Alyssa Carson, which was the first woman to explore the red planet, the first astronaut to be there. And also, like I said, the discovery of water on the planet. So basically, water has been discovered on the surface of the planet. Again, a really big pro. Water is one of the main things that humanity needs to survive. So having that on the planet would be basically very essential for human life. So that is a big pro. Okay, so now on to the cons. So like I mentioned before, water has been discovered on the planet, but contamination has also been discovered. So basically, NASA astronauts have done a really great job sterilizing their rockets and rovers and any materials that they would bring from Earth to Mars, but some contamination has been discovered. And so this would be very bad for us because test results would be inaccurate. And so everything that we basically have been testing would be inaccurate. So maybe not knowing certain conditions, environment, bacteria, we would know that sort of thing because of the inaccuracies. I also watched the movie The Martian, which basically told me about the extreme survival conditions such as extreme heat and non-breathable air, two things that would be very bad. And so humans would have to wear suits 24/7. Going back to the pros, I didn't experience any limitations. I checked various artists, and so there were no limitations. But for the cons, I did use the Martian movie as about 2/3 of my research, and so that may have been a limitation because I may have needed to expand more to a more general or broad audience. Okay, so summarizing what I learned. So like I said, humans have already contaminated the planet through rovers and spaceships. I learned all about NASA rovers: Curiosity, Perseverance, what they collected, how they work, how they deliver the samples back. Again, the pros and cons to life on the planet, like I mentioned, the contamination, having to wear suits 24/7, environmental conditions, all considered cons. But maybe the finding of water and everything else would definitely be a major pro. And I learned about the planet itself. I learned about the core, the temperatures, like I mentioned, things like that that would help me understand more about just the planet and learn more about context. Okay, so how I would answer the question. So, although there are many factors that would contribute to the possibility of human growth on the Mars planet, such as the easily accessible resources such as water, medications, food growth possibility of food growth I watched in The Martian. The cons do outweigh the pros because the planet itself is not as easily reliable and sustainable environment. The planet comes with many challenges such as non-breathable air, extremely harsh living conditions, isolation. Like I said, the food, but it is very hard to grow and it does need certain conditions and much more. in conclusion, making it very tough for humans to live there in the future. And even if people do decide to have like families, the children would have to wear suits, and the conditions are overall just too hard. So my process. At the beginning, I thought about what interests me, what I would like to learn about, and what I already knew. And what I would like to learn, then where can I start my research? How can I put it all together? What have I learned? So I wanted to put it in a slideshow, a way to present it to my audience. So how can I use this information in the future? I can use my new information, my new knowledge of molecular pharmaceuticals in chemistry and biology to learn which plants may be useful for this technique based on their molecular properties solely. And I can also use this for personal gain. Now I have new knowledge of the planet, the rovers, and everything else, so I can use it in passion projects and other things. So thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy it.